to the Equus Radio Show. Today is Tuesday, May 24th, and it is 10 a.m. Today we're going to be discussing what is Equus Radio, our goals, local upcoming events, community news, weather, and then we're going to be discussing some of our social media platforms and how you can be a part of Equus Radio Show. So let's begin. The Equus Radio Show is a New Mexico-based radio show that broadcasts on YouTube that deals with all topics related to horses in all aspects. Large to small, mules, ponies, cobs, gypsies. If it has 4 legs and neighs, we're going to discuss it. Mexico doesn't have anything like this, and I think we are in need of one. I think that because we are so spread out apart and space separates us, all of us, we sometimes forget other horsemanship within the state. I think this radio show can be the one central pillar that people can come to for the latest news and community events going on all over the state of New Mexico, not just in our little circle. Have you ever wondered what a boarding barn was like in another city, but you can't get there to check it out? Or maybe a stallion you saw but you would like to see more and ask some questions? Or a trainer you heard about? Equus Radio will help answer all these questions. We will visit facilities, barns, arenas, check out a stallion or a trainer. We're also going to be featuring live remotes. We can also offer those far away or not able to make it to the facility to watch the show in real time. Does Grandma live in Vermont but can't make it down to her grandchild's first horse show? Equus is happy to be hired to do a live remote and give Grandma the ability to watch from her couch. Moving from another city, but are unsure about the facilities offered? Chances are Equus Radio has done a show on them, giving you a real view of what you could be moving into. We're also going to be doing special dedicated shows. Consider these paid commercial programs. They can be helpful to everyone across the state. These have endless possibilities, from the stallion you have at stud, the Grand Prix hunter you're looking to sell, boarding facilities and openings in those boarding facilities, and many, many other things. They're endless possibilities. Think about a dedicated show if you have anything you want to discuss. Already I've had so much positive reaction for this, and I think that I could be onto something here. I think this could be really helpful, and it's a really unique platform. So, New Mexico, let's use it and take advantage of it. If you've got an event, a community event, news, anything that you think other people need to hear, send it to me and I will be happy to include it. So we're going to move on to the weather for this week, and it is going to be beautiful. Our only windy day is going to be today, actually, with 20-mile-per-hour winds. But other than that, we're going to have a great week. So get out there and ride, guys. Enjoy the weather. So on to community news. There are a lot of things going on this weekend. But I want to address one specific thing. On May 19th, the Royal Morgan Farm in Espanola lost their matriarch. Alberta Honstein passed away on May 19th. Miss Honstein and Royal Morgan Farm, Royal Morgan Farm, have a rich and long history with the Morgan breed. Royal Morgan Farm was founded in the early 1960s by Roy and Alberta Honstein. They harvest their love of Morgans through their daughter Debbie and then Debbie's daughters, Alberta Seibold and Erlene Seibold Smith. Many years and more than 12 world champions later, Royal was inducted into the AMHA Breeders' Hall of Fame in 2012. The farm still operates under the third generation's watchful eye to continue the tradition of wonderful Morgan horses. You can still see Royal Morgans across the country and at nationals today. The Morgan community has lost a grande dame, a kind and generous lady who inspired many people to get into the breed due to her passion alone. From putting on the Kachina Morgan Classic to being AMHA Woman of the Year to holding many offices and serving on committees for the Grand National. She loved the Morgan community. It makes us proud to be able to offer opportunities to help the youth in our community through her name, stated Seibold Smith. It would make her so proud. Contributions in memory of Miss Honstein may be made payable to AMHECT-Honstein Scholarships or by going to www.amhect.org/make a donation and select Honstein Scholarship. This is the Morgan Horse Educational Charitable Trust, and we are pleased to announce the establishment of the Alberta Honstein Memorial Youth Scholarship. So please take a moment and head over there and make a donation in the name of this beautiful lady and the Morgan horses. On the community news side, there was a Celtic horse breed demo last Sunday at the Celtic Festival and Highland Games. There was also a demo of the new large animal rescue training program supported by Champ and the New Mexico Horse Council at the Trainers Expo at Four Winds Equestrian Center on last Saturday. Now, we have the Enchantment Driving Society is hosting an all-breed driving show with rail, pleasure classes, and timed events on Saturday, May 28th at the Bernalillo County Sheriff Posse Arena on 2nd Street. Ribbons and high point awards for each division. The divisions are as follows. Very small equines, 39 inches and under. Equines 14.2 hands and under. And equines over 14.2 hands. Classes for EDS members are $15 each, or all-day fee of $95. Classes for non-members are $25 each, or $160 all day. Memberships will be available at the show and are $25 for individual or $35 for the whole family. All types of equines and carts and carriages are welcome. Spectators as well. And also, yours truly will be there handling the gate. So come on by and say hello. On Saturday, May 28th is the annual Champ Recreation Ride in Corrales. Carriages, carts are welcome, as are all trail-safe equines. For $25, you get lunch and a lovely t-shirt. If you need more information, you can contact Bon Bagley at 505-328-3945. May 28th and 29th, there is an event going on at the Mountain West Rodeo Association at the Valencia County's Sheriff's Posse Arena. Check out their Facebook page for more information. May 28th and 29th is the Royal Schooling Show at the Royal Morgan Farm in Espanola. May 28th through the May 30th is the Lee Smith Horsemanship Clinic. That's going to be going on at the Four Winds Equestrian Center in Estancia. And June 1st is the Bosque Farm Rodeo Queen Contest meeting. And this will be at 6:30 at the Cowboy Hall. You can contact Joyce Battaglia at area code 760-207-8739 or visit bosquefarmsrodeo.org. Now remember, if you have an event, some news, anything you'd like to have mentioned, just send me some information on the Equus Radio Show Facebook page. Okay, now we're going to take just a moment, take a little break. Okay, we are back with our topic of the day. Today we're going to discuss photography. Taking great photos of your horse is tough. You spent all day long in the hot sun, sweating, sweltering, running around, all to get that perfect angle, that one perfect picture. The little screen shows you got great photos and you're excited. You get home only to find all your great looking photos are blurry, fuzzy, and dull. So there's a few things here that you can do there to correct that. You can hire that expensive pro photographer to follow you and your subject around for those great photos. Or you can buy one of those giant expensive cameras, hoping the better the camera, the better the photo. I can tell you, as a professional photographer, that the camera is merely a tool. You need to have a basic understanding on photography and composition, lighting, those kind of things. And it can be really easy for a beginner to learn. I'm going to show you a couple of photographs here. This one I took, this is Ready Freddy, a beautiful Anglo-Arab owned by Jim Porcher. And I took this at the Zia Classic last weekend. And this one is a photo my husband took. He used the exact same camera. As you can see, there is a big difference between what photo he took and the photo I took. Same camera, different person. So, as you can see, a bigger and better camera is not always the answer. So today we're going to discuss a few tips and tricks that will help you get a more polished photo. Okay? So first we're going to discuss lighting. If you're shooting outside during a horse show or, well, anytime you're outside, you're going to want to be shooting with the sun behind you and directed at the horse or at your subject. Otherwise, you're going to get harsh shadows, and it's just not going to look bright. If you're shooting when the sun is directly above you or straight overhead, you're going to look for the angle that the shadows are. And then you're going to go to the opposite angle of that shadow. When you're inside, you're going to want to make sure, again, that light is behind you. If you're shooting in the Expo New Mexico arena, you're going to want to be shooting from in front of the in-gate with the light behind you. The other way that I shoot is that I find that shooting across the arena to the corner in front of the women's restroom is the perfect indoor lighting for that particular arena. It just reflects well, and that corner is a very nice corner. There's not a lot of clutter in the background, and it makes for a nice, easy picture. As you can see in this one, you have all the pillar, and you have the bleachers and everything like that. With the angled one shooting at the women's restroom, you get free of all that, and it's just a very nice area to shoot. You can shoot from anywhere in the arena as long as you're pointed towards that corner, and avoid the large bay door and keep it just to the side of that so the light isn't leaking in. I avoid using the flash. I've never used the flash on my camera. The flash in your camera is really only designed to illuminate the area directly in front of you. You'll never see a professional camera using the flash on their camera. They have cameras, they have flashes set up throughout the arena that eliminate the shadows. But you won't see them using a flash on their camera. I suggest you don't use the flash on your camera either. Just find the right light and make sure you have all the right settings, and you'll get a good photo. The flash is it can also scare other horses. Horses that aren't used to it, or have never seen a flash, or that sound of the bulb popping can really alarm them. Composition. Composition is the placement or an arrangement of items within your photograph. And this is where it comes into shooting that uncluttered corner. You want the focus to be on your horse and your rider, not what's going on in the background. Nobody wants to see pictures of somebody behind you in the bleachers picking their nose. They're going to be focusing on that and not your horse and rider. I know that sometimes it can be hard to avoid a crowd, though. Keep the lens centered with the body of the horse. So if you're standing 200 feet from the horse, you need to be a bit lower. If you're standing closer to the horse, you need to be a bit taller. This fills the frame naturally with more depth of the horse and rider. It'll also allow you to focus on the horse and rider and blur out the background. That's what we call bokeh. Be sure to time your photo correctly to capture your quick moments. Using the sport mode on your camera and selecting a continuous shot will make sure you get the perfect moment. The nice thing is this, with digital photographs, you can delete any before and after photos after you get that perfect moment. So here's what I do when I'm teaching a beginner to shoot like jumping. You're going to focus on the horse and rider, and you're going to follow them to the jump. As soon as they get to the jump, you're going to start to do that continuous shoot. And you're going to follow them all the way to the follow through. And then you're going to let go of your button. And your camera's going to process it all. You're going to look at them, and you're going to delete all the ones except for that perfect moment. You can do this at home, or you can do it on your camera. For me, I do it on my camera because I can see and I know which ones are going to be good and which ones aren't going to be good. In the dairy barn, this is a horrible place to do photographs. It really is. This is a photographer's nightmare, the dairy barn. It's got such even I uneven lighting and those blocks of windows, shadows, and it's just horrible. So here's what I do. I choose the left corner by the in gate and shoot across the arena towards the tree outside. There's the end of the arena, and then you have the office or that large building where the restrooms are. Right in front of that building, there is a beautiful large green tree. If you set up your shot to capture your rider going around that corner, you'll get the tree and you'll have beautiful natural lighting. That's your super trick and your super tip. You'll get beautiful photos every time. Anywhere between that corner and the next corner would be good for natural lighting. I just try to avoid getting the building in there. Now, as tempting as it may be to be quiet, don't be quiet. Make noise. Let the horses know let the horses know you're there. Let the riders know you're there, and just be natural, smooth movements. You don't need to be a ninja and sneak around to get to the right place for the right angle. Some horses don't mind the camera and even love the camera and look for the camera. And some find the giant eye to be following around to be disconcerting. Sometimes it's the shutter snapping that can make a horse do a little double take. I have a remote system on my camera, and I set it up at an arena with some friends. And these are all veteran show horses we are riding. And I set it up in the corner just outside the arena with my remote, and we started riding. And all of the horses avoided that corner like there was some monster that was going to eat them there. And it was just a camera on the tripod. And it was very scary. They would side pass and snort and blow and prance through there. A few of them got used to it. A few of them just never figured it out. So just practice at home with your horse so that when your child is performing the perfect test, you don't actually spook them. Practice with the flash, even though I said don't use flash. Practice with it because other people who are not as informed as you will use the flash, and you don't want to scare your horse. A little editing knowledge goes a long way. Now, I'm not talking about photoshopping something, changing the horse's conformation, replacing ears, or whatever else that goes on. I'm just talking about changing the levels of light, the exposure, clarity, vibrance, saturation, sharpness, a little cropping, just to make the photo more pleasing and really stand out. Never ever change your horse's conformation or your rider's conformation. We're going to do a little mini web episode sometime this week. We'll do some down and dirty quick tips to photo editing. I will do a review on some of the best free ones that you can either download or use directly in your browser, and that'll help you guys edit your photos and make them the best. Let's see. Oh, no, you can't discuss photography without discussing cameras. Sure, I gave you some great tips, but none of them will help if you're trying to use your cell phone for that fireplace mantle-worthy picture. Now, I'm not saying that you cannot get a good picture with a cell phone. I have some gorgeous pictures on my walls that I have taken with a cell phone. A few years ago when I was in Fort Lauderdale, I was on the beach looking out to the beautiful clear waters of the Atlantic Ocean, The day was beautiful and sunny, and the most astounding thing happened. A sailboat sailed by in my view, and it made such a picture perfect moment that I had to take the picture. And I have a beautiful 5x7 of that photo. So that's not saying that you can't use your cell phone and get beautiful photos, because some of them do have great photo features. So just keep in mind that you probably won't get a much bigger photo than a 5x7 from your cell phone, but it can be done. Oh, I wanted to tell you one little quick tip, and I didn't tell you this, guys. Shh. When you are shooting your English rider and they are doing a victory pass, getting their championship ribbon or whatever, and they're trotting out of the ring, ask them to post on the wrong diagonal. This will give you the leg closest to you in that nice, beautiful reaching arch, and it'll have your subject sitting in the saddle, not hanging in midair. I don't know how many times I've seen a beautiful photo and I'd be like, oh, that is the gorgeous photo of the horse. It's too bad the rider is in mid-post. So remember, post on the wrong diagonal for championship photos. Never in class, just afterwards when you get your ribbon. So when I started doing photography, I was using a PhotoSmart digital camera. And this was in 2004 when digital cameras were just starting to emerge. It was a simple point and shoot and 8 batteries like they were going out of style. Now, the hard part that I learned with this, and it has helped me throughout my photographic career, is to take a picture before the moment. So what I'm saying here is you're watching your child take a jump. This camera had so much lag that I had to take the photo 5 seconds before the horse would jump the jump, so that I could make sure to get the perfectly timed photo. By the time I got a new camera in 2006, the lag was up to 10 seconds. I would have to take a photo 10 seconds before I got the photo I wanted. So when we were at a air show, I wanted to take a picture of the osprey. I had to take the photo 10 seconds before the osprey flew into my frame to get the picture. Otherwise, I would have just gotten sky. I started my associates in photography in 2006 at the Santa Fe Community College. They assign you cameras, first come, first serve, and I got saddled with a Nikon. Well, a Nikon is a perfectly good camera. It just didn't suit me. I didn't like it. I suffered through, and with my financial disbursement, I bought my first digital SLR camera. I got a Canon Rebel. I thought I was the queen of photography when I got that. Now, 10 years later, I have upgraded through the line and settled on a Canon 5D. This is a good mid-level professional camera. Now, I went from a simple point and shoot to a digital SLR, and I'm sure you're wondering what the difference is. A point and shoot is a camera with a fixed lens and will have a digital or optical zoom built in. Now, just a note on the digital and the optical zooms, never get a camera with a digital zoom. Do not do it. Avoid it. They are not actually zooms. What it does is it crops the photo in the camera to bring the subject closer to you. So you're losing quality, you're losing photo, and you're going to end up with a very pixelated photo when you go to print it. So always opt for the optical zoom. Now these are great cameras and they can be very expensive. I have a lovely Canon that I won a few years ago. It is a This is the Canon G12, Power Shot G12. It's quite a few years old now, and there's nothing wrong with that. It works beautifully. And I've taken some absolutely gorgeous photos with it. I won it at Infocom in Las Vegas a few years ago, and that is a $500 camera that I won. And it is a great, great camera. And you can take gorgeous photos with it. I've taken beautiful photos. So if your budget is for a point and shoot, then get a good point and shoot. They can be just as good as their DSLR counterparts. Now, you're probably wondering what DSLR is. So an SLR camera, or a digital SLR camera, is a single lens reflex camera. Typically uses a mirror and a prism system that permits the photographer to view through the lens and see exactly what will be captured. With an SLR camera, you see exactly what the lens sees. And you can change lenses. Digital SLRs, which are digital single lens reflex cameras, have a larger image sensor that produce high quality photos. An SLR has a near zero lag time and is ideal for action photography. Let me tell you, with that point and shoot, I really couldn't take a lot of action photos. They would all become blurry blobs. So when we're talking about point and shoots and digital SLRs, we're talking about two different things. With the point and shoot, you're getting an all-in-one. You have a fixed lens that can't be changed, and it's all one camera, one body. And the lens usually zooms back, pulls back into the camera itself. With the digital SLR, you have the body of the camera and a lens. They're separate from each other. So you attach your lens to your body. Not only did I just, make that a little bit more difficult for you, you can buy just the body, or you can buy with a lens as a package. But also be aware that there are over 85 camera manufacturers, and there are multitudes of models, types, and series. The most popular ones we know are Canon, Nikon, Sony, and Kodak. There are many, many others that you'll find out there that are just as good. So which one is the best? Well, that depends entirely on you. I can tell you that for me it was a Canon. My Canon 50D is perfect for me. It's a good weight, it's got good options, and it's still relevant. Sorry. My suggestion to you is don't go to Best Buy or Target or any other big box store to buy your camera. Not at first. Go to your local camera shop and pick the employees' brains. They will know what you want and how to get it for you. That's their job. It's their passion. It's what they do. They know all about the cameras to the tiny little details, and they will be able to get you exactly what you need by describing your situation and what you want to do with your camera. And then, if you don't want to buy the camera from them, or you feel like you can get a better deal, then just make note of what they said and go look on the internet. eBay is a good place to look for some nice cameras. Then you can go to your big box stores or whatever. One thing you want to do is do not get too much camera. Don't overbuy. Cameras have a good retail value, and if you buy a quality camera up front and one that matches your skill level, you can always sell it and upgrade as you get better. But buying the latest $8,000 Mark V from Canon is going to get you nothing but headaches and frustration when it has features that you don't know how to use. Just once you find that perfect camera, buy it and use it. And if you find that your skills are outgrowing your camera, then sell it and buy another one. They have really good retail value. One thing to keep in mind is that these cameras are heavy. The body just itself weighs about 3 pounds, and the lens can add 1 to 3 more pounds. So you have 6 pounds hanging off your neck. You also have the lens to contend with and your camera bag. They're not easy to tote around, and if I'm not taking professional photos, then I don't find that I need the big camera. So what I do is I put mine across my body, and then I put the camera in the small of my back. And this keeps it from smashing it into people, smashing into things and walls and wherever else. And this also keeps it from having people grabbing it, because it's on my body and they can't just grab it and go. They'll take me with them. The one thing that you're going to want to look at too is that lenses can get very complicated as well. You have prime lenses, you have telephoto lenses, macro lenses, fisheye lens. Oh, there's so many different kinds of lenses, and there are so many different kind of ratings that we'd have to go into an episode itself on the lenses and their functions. Camera cards. Mine uses a compact flash card, and many of them use SD cards or micro SD cards. Sometimes they come with it, sometimes they don't. You just want to look at your instruction book and make sure you get the right kind of SD card for it, memory card. If you have any more questions or comments, let me know and I'll be happy to discuss them with you. Let's see. When you have your point and shoot, I find that it's much easier to travel with. If you're going on vacation, you take your point and shoot with you. I don't take my big camera. It's too bulky and hard to handle. And I find that sometimes I can't participate in something because the camera prevents me from, participating. Like if I wanted to go zip lining, I wouldn't be able to go because my camera would be hanging off my back and I would be worried that I would drop it. So with a point and shoot, I can just shove it into my fanny pack or in my shirt or whatever. They're nice and light and easy. And like I said, you can take beautiful, beautiful pictures with it. We'll discuss a little bit more on different kinds of lenses. I suggest for shooting horse shows, the minimum you need is a 50 millimeter. And this lens will get you everywhere and everything you need for shooting horse shows. It'll get you across the arena. It'll get you nice, clear, crisp shots. and you can zoom. You can't zoom with the lens, but you can zoom in your photo editing and still have a good quality photo. I also have a Canon 70mm to a 300mm telephoto lens. I always carry two with me. Let me tell you that I do not recommend the Tamron brand lenses. Thankfully, I always carry two with me. A few years ago, I was doing a horse show, and my Tamron lens fell apart. It just disintegrated in my hands. And thankfully, I had another lens with me by a different manufacturer that I was able to limp through the show with. Otherwise, I would not have been able to do the show, and a lot of people would have been disappointed because I didn't have a camera lens. So just always have two. I suggest UV protection lens covers. This will help keep the neoning effect down. That's where you're looking at a picture and the edges have that blue neon or purple neon. That's just UV light. With the UV protection, it'll help you not have that in your photos, and you'll make them look much, much more professional. A polarized photo helps you to, a polarized photo lens you place on the end of your lens helps you to adjust your shadows and contours in full sunlight. I think that's definitely a thing that you need to have in your accessory box. A hood. You're going to need a hood for your lens. That'll help keep the dirt and debris off your lens so it doesn't injure the lens. Because once you get a scratch on the lens, it's going to be in every single photo, and they're very hard to fix. The glass in your lens is extremely important. There are different f-stops, and an f-stop is how fast the lens is, and f-stop controls the amount of light that enters the camera. So when you pick an f-stop, lens, it is also how fast it is. So an f2.8 is going to be slower than a f1.4. An f1.4 is the fastest you can get. And that's going to make your shots almost like shooting a movie when you do your continuous shot. And each time you go up, like a F1, F2, F3, F4, you're going to shave just a little bit of time on how fast your camera reacts. And you're not even going to notice it. The average person's not going to notice the latency on the lens. So an F1 lens is extremely expensive. Let's see. So if we're looking at a 50mm f1.8, you're looking at roughly $90 for that. An F4, which is perfectly acceptable for what you're wanting to do, taking some pictures, is not going to be that expensive. Those ones we're looking at anywhere between $30 to $50. Your glass is really, really important. I cannot stress how important that is. You do not want to buy an expensive camera and then buy a cheap, crappy lens with crappy glass, because it will affect your photos. You get all sorts of abnormalities and whatever else black spots, blurriness. Can't stress how important the lens is if you're going to go with a lens. I highly suggest using the same brand as your camera if they offer lenses as well. Otherwise, Canons do fit other cameras. A lot of them are proprietary, where a Nikon will only fit a Nikon, but many times the Canons are interchangeable. Okay, so remember to subscribe, guys, to the YouTube page, and you'll be able to see all the videos there and watch them as needed. And then visit our social media pages. Social media pages will have all of our current events as well as some community news. So next week we're going to talk about cleaning your tack. Who doesn't love cleaning tack? I happen to enjoy it. It's something very zen-like. You kind of could just zone out and clean the tack. And my hands always come out so soft and smooth and fully conditioned. We're going to do some product reviews on which is the best tack cleaning product. I've got many products that we can check out and use, and some of my favorite ones. And some tips and tricks on getting those little nooks and crannies perfectly clean. A lot of times those high-tooled saddles are hard to clean. I'm also going to tell you how to get water spots and other spots out of your suede saddle seat. That's right. You have a water spot on your seat, or you have a water spot on the leather, and you think that the life is ruined. What are you going to do with this water spot? I will tell you how to get it out and to make your saddle perfect again. We're also going to discuss a little bit on how to get that built up gunk off of leather. I noticed that sometimes when I'm cleaning tack, they have that buildup of gunk that's just been ignored or people can't see it, and it just keeps building up, and it really hides the tooling that's there. I've gotten some older saddles that have beautiful tooling that have disappeared under the gunk and sweat and everything that's built up there. So we're going to talk about that, cleaning, conditioning, using everyday household cooking products to clean your saddle. Also, how to keep that from squeaking. There's nothing like riding in your dressage test, your Western dressage test, and it's dead silent, and it's just you and your horse, and all you can hear is that leather squeaking as you're moving. Squeak, 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 squeak. It's horrible, and you just, to me, I just cringe because it's just like I'm concentrating on the squeaking and not what I'm supposed to be concentrating on. So we're going to discuss that, so that'll be a lot of fun. On June 7th, I will be going to Las Vegas with my family, Las Vegas, Nevada. We're going to be attending the InfoComm again. Maybe I'll win another new camera. That'll be awesome. So we're going to do a canned radio show, which means that I will upload a photo for you guys to look at. It's going to be on insect control. We're going to talk about Skin So Soft and their fly spray, your do-yourself fly spray. We're going to talk about what fly sprays work, what fly sprays don't, and worming, and all sorts of other insect controls. So that'll be fun because I know trail riding season is coming soon, and nobody wants flies to be bothering you and biting you. So now we're just going to talk a little bit about how you can help our program. If you like the program, consider sending us an ad. For $15, I can place your ad within my little story mode. And so I can place it anywhere while I'm talking about things, and it can be shown throughout the episode, or just once. Consider a sponsorship. Sponsor of a show segment, sponsor our weather, sponsor our local news or events or community news. You can sponsor our topic of the day. So I'll say this topic of the day is brought to you by Canon. They haven't given me any money, so I don't get to say that. Commercials for $50. Your commercial can run once during the radio show. For $75, your commercial will run up to 2 times. And that can be a little movie, 1 to 2 minutes long, or it can just be a spoken commercial and your logo. If you're a feed store, a tax store, tell me about your specials, and we'll put it up there. Live event remotes. Live event remote shows covering an event at your location with interviews and contests. There's $75 an hour with a 1 hour minimum. Book 4-hour blocks and get a 10% discount on the hourly rate, which means if you book me for 4 hours, you get a discount on the hourly rate. I don't have a maximum. If you want me there for 48 hours, then fantastic. If you want me there for an hour, that's great. That'd be $75. Show dedication. An entire hour dedicated to you and only you. This is your paid commercial programming. Those ones you saw on Sunday for the Super Ninja kitchen knives or the New Wave oven, whatever else. You know what those are. But we will devote this entire show to you and whatever you want to discuss. Additionally, we have the acceptance of donations. A donation of any amount is appreciated and will help us get some higher quality equipment and give you a higher quality radio show, as well as bring you some specials and bonus episodes. We also have our $300 social media coverage package. This will include a segment sponsorship or a commercial aired in every show for a month, and your ad featured on our social media pages and our webpage. For $1,500, you have 1 year coverage. That 1 year will include a segment sponsorship and a commercial aired in every show. That's 52 shows. Plus, you'll have 1 show dedicated to you, all about you. You. Let's talk about you. And then we'll have 2 live remotes and event coverage. This also includes commercials and sponsorships aired during live events. So that will be nice. As I get more shows under my belt, I will be adding what I call field trips. We can go and take a look at all sorts of horse-related things all over New Mexico. Reviews on products, and so much more. You'll find more information on the Facebook page. You can also follow us on Twitter. And please subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can be sure to get all the latest and greatest information for New Mexico. The website will be up soon. So one more time, let's go over those current events. So we have the Enchantment Driving Society Albury Driving Show, and that was $15 or $95 all day. That was for our members. Or $25 each class, or $160 all day for non-members. Memberships are available at the show, and they are $25 for individual or $35 for family. All types of equines and carts and carriages are welcome. I will be at the show, and I will be manning the gate. Saturday, May 28th is the annual Champ Recreation Ride in Corrales. Carriage and carts are welcome, as are all trail safe equines. $25, a great deal. We'll get you a t-shirt and lunch. Who doesn't love lunch? You can see more details on my page for that. May 28th and 29th is the Mountain West Rodeo Association event at the Valencia County Sheriff's Posse Arena. May 28th and 29th is the Royal Schooling Show in Espanola. May 28th through May 30th is the Lee Smith Horsemanship Clinic at Four Winds Equestrian Center. And that's in Estancia. June 1st is the meeting for the Bosque Farm Rodeo Queen Contest. They will be meeting at 6:30 p.m. at the Cowboy Hall. You can find more information at bosquefarmsrodeo.org. If you have an event, again, that you'd like to mention, just send me the details on the Equus Radio Show. I've got a couple other ones here that were sent to me. Okay, we have the Tuesday Night Barrels, and that is at the Bosque Farms Rodeo Association in Bosque Farms. Then we have the Wednesday Night Barrels and Poles, and that's at the Rodeo de Santa Fe in Santa Fe. And that starts at 6 p.m. So, let's see, I think that's it. In Arizona, we're kind of close to Arizona, guys. The High Desert Horse Show Mini and Pony All Breed. I think that's about it. So once again, consider subscribing to our YouTube channel, liking our Facebook page, and think about sending us those ads. $15, that's a bargain. It'll get a lot of exposure, and we'll get you whatever you're selling sold. So thank you guys for joining me, and I hope that everything was informative. And yeah, have a good day, guys. Thank you.